Hey guys, finding neutral. I'm also going to go ahead and do my chain slack review and see if this O-ring chain made any difference as far as the slack goes. I've got 600 miles on it. So anybody that's still using their stock non-O-ring chain and you've gotten 600 miles, you can compare my slack to whatever your slack is, and it'll tell you, does the O-ring chain work as far as less adjusting goes. So I've put the chain on. I've not adjusted it since I put it on. The only thing I've done is at 300 miles, I lubed the chain. And the slack adjustment upon installation was between 33 and 36, I guess, millimeters. The book says, I believe 30 to 40 millimeters is acceptable. I try to do a happy medium and get close to like 35 millimeter. 30 millimeters seemed pretty tight to me, like really tight. So I said I'll just go for 35 or around about 35. So what I'm doing is checking my chain slack at 4 different points. I know the book says to check a couple points, just don't go with one adjustment spot. You want to move it around, and because the chain gets tighter. You guys probably already know all that. But I'm using a Motion Pro chain guide slack, or correction, chain slack reader. I could never figure out how to do the chain slack with a ruler or a piece of cardboard. For some reason, my brain doesn't work that way. So I bought this thing and it seems to work pretty well. And the happy medium spot that I eyeballed between the two sprockets, to me, I think it kind of is right here under the word lubricant. So that's kind of easy to remember where to go to between this point and the sprocket up further. So lubricant, and what I do is I start out with my master link, and then I get my first adjustment, or actually my first reading from that by doing this. And I started out with 33 to 36. So my first reading here after 600 miles, it's at, I'm going to say 34. You can't see it because of the lighting in here, but I'm going to say it's gone up one. So we got 33. So I'm going to try and get my master link moved up to the front sprocket and take my second measurement. I think it's there about now. So let's get another measurement. There we go. And this one is, I'm going to say 35. Let's see it or not. So let's go with the third one, and what I can do with that is look for my master link to pop out up top, which is right there. I guess you can't see it, but it's right there. And so I'm going to move my master link back over above the word lubricant. So this will be my third measuring spot. Let's do that again. Okay, and this one looks to me like it says 34 again. Once again, I'm sorry about the lighting, guys, but you can see on there the top of that little line that says 34. And now I'm going to bring my master link down to the back side of my rear sprocket. That's my 4th position, and I'm going to get my next reading under the word lubricant. I'll line up the link to where it's right underneath there. And that one's at 37. Yeah, as you can see, it's above the 35 notch. I'm going to say 37. So not much. I don't have to adjust my chain after 600 miles. I think the O-ring is doing its job. You guys can let me know if it's not, if your stock chain isn't stretching out much. I know riding with Waro, his chain stretched out a lot really quick, but I do know he was doing some hardcore riding, and he had a passenger, and he was doing a lot of aggressive off-road riding testing and all that kind of stuff. I'm just piddling around. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I can't hit the hardcore stuff and bounce around and carry loads and all that stuff due to some back issues, but I've been riding, all street, and I've been riding as fast as I can go. So I'm just glad I don't have to adjust my chain. So we'll see how it goes. I'm sure I'm gonna have to adjust it. I just like the fact that I don't have to do it right now at 600 miles. So I'm gonna say the O-ring chain is worth it. I do not know the comparison between the stock chain and the O-ring chain as far as speed goes. I'm sure it's probably diminished some of the power, but I don't notice because I put the chain on first thing. And if it takes a couple miles an hour away from me, that's fine. I'll trade that for not having to, go through the whole process of constantly adjusting the slack with my chain. So I just wanted to share that with you. And this is like I said, this is a nice tool, Motion Pro. I found it on Amazon. If you're interested, let me know. I'll put it in the link. If not, I know a lot of you guys already know how to do your own chain slack without little tools. I'm just still a novice, and any little thing that helps me get it done quick and accurately, I'm down with. So that's the update on the O-ring chain at the 600 mile mark. So you've got my O-ring chain update and my magnetic drain plug update. And that is it for now. Oh, one little bonus to this video is I did get my last bit of bling. And that's going to be my Gcraft center cargo rack / boot guard, so I don't smack the center down tube thing with my boot like I was starting to do. And it's nice. It's pretty thick. One thing that I'll say that I ran into a problem with was when I went to put this spacer in the center. The spacer that it came with, like you can see these metal spacers right here. There's one for each screw. So you have a screw here and a little spacer underneath. You can see that right there. So what happened was, it's odd. You go to crank down on this screw right here, and once again I'm going to tell you this is the Gcraft version. You go to crank down on that screw to push this this down to secure it, and there's a bunch of play. There was like what seemed like almost like a ½ inch of play, and the screw wouldn't go all the way down to secure it down. So you could just take this part and wiggle it up and down, or right there. So I had to dig through all my bits, and I found, you can probably see it right under there. You can see that where the spacer that it came with is on the bottom. Then you see a little bit of another little spacer. That's the amount of play that I had. Plus, I had to use 2 washers up top right there. It came with 1 washer, and you can see I stacked another one on it. So I had to add a washer, and then I had to add a spacer right there that you could see to make this not wiggle up and down. You can't crank down much on this bolt right here that it comes with. because the way the thread is, the other end of it, the receiving end, only has so much thread to it to screw this down, and it just stops. So you're left with a gap. So I don't know if I installed this wrong. They said I installed the taillight guard wrong. That was my problem, which I didn't. I still say that that bracket was backwards on that. But either way, I drilled it out and made it work. Just like with this, you know, I added a little spacer, made it work. I don't feel like contacting them over a little bit of hardware. But it looks good. I got it. It showed up. I'm happy, and I am done. I'm done with the bling on this, guys. I got to pay it off now. I went a little crazy with trying to get it all at once, and I accomplished that. But now I gotta get it paid off. But it looks good. It's definitely guarded up. Eventually, I'm gonna go on a little excursion on this when I have more time. I just wanted to get it all ready to go, and I think it's ready to go now. Now I just got to keep on breaking the engine in and getting familiar with the bike as far as its feel and everything. But I'm enjoying it so far. The seat is starting to break into, just so you guys know. I can feel like a little divot where my butt goes. So it's still hard. Nonetheless, it's still hard. But it is breaking in. After 600 miles, I could feel it breaking in. And I'm thinking with the extreme heat we got down here in the summer, I think it's going to break in even more. It might sag down some, and that'd be fine by me. But that's it, guys. Just wanted to share that rack with you guys, the update on the chain, and I will catch you next time.